Ever settled in for a movie night, popcorn ready, only to be met with the dreaded spinning wheel of buffering on your Roku TV? It's a scene we've all experienced, and it can be incredibly frustrating. It's the worst, right? Especially when your phone or laptop streams perfectly fine on the same Wi-Fi network. You start to wonder why your Roku TV is the only device struggling. What gives? Well, there are a few reasons why your Roku might be struggling while other devices seem unfazed. It's not just bad luck. There are technical reasons behind this. It could be due to your router settings, Wi-Fi channels, or even the placement of your router. Sometimes the solution is as simple as moving your router to a more central location in your home. Or it could be something more complex, like DFS channels, which are designed to avoid interference with radar systems but can sometimes cause issues with streaming devices. Don't worry though, I'm here to break it down and help you fix it. We'll go through some troubleshooting steps that can make a big difference. We'll get you back to binge watching in no time. Imagine the relief of finally watching your favorite shows without interruptions. So grab your router's login info and let's dive into the wonderful world of Wi-Fi optimization. This might sound technical, but I promise it's easier than you think. We'll start by understanding the difference between the two main Wi-Fi frequencies. First things first, let's talk about the two main Wi-Fi frequencies, 2.4 GHz and 5 GHz. These two bands are the backbone of most home and office wireless networks. Think of them as two different highways for your data. Each has its own unique characteristics and advantages. 2.4 GHz is like an older, more crowded highway. It's been around longer and is used by many devices, including microwaves and cordless phones. It has a longer range, meaning it can reach farther corners of your home. This makes it ideal for larger spaces or areas with many walls. But because it's older and more crowded, it can get congested, leading to slower speeds and those annoying buffering pauses. This is especially true in densely populated areas where many networks overlap. 5 GHz is like a newer, wider highway with less traffic. It's less crowded because fewer devices use this frequency. It offers faster speeds and a smoother streaming experience. This makes it perfect for activities like online gaming, video conferencing, and streaming high-definition videos. However, it has a shorter range and might not reach every corner of your house. Physical obstructions like walls and floors can significantly reduce its effectiveness. Now you might think, why not just use the faster 5 GHz band all the time? While it's tempting, the shorter range can be a limitation in larger homes or buildings. Well, that's where things get a bit tricky, especially with something called band steering. Band steering is a technology that helps your router decide which band to use for each device, optimizing performance. Modern routers often come with this feature, automatically switching devices between 2.4 GHz and 5 GHz based on their needs and signal strength. For instance, a device far from the router might be switched to the 2.4 GHz band for better range, while a device closer to the router might use the 5 GHz band for faster speeds. This ensures a seamless and efficient Wi-Fi experience, balancing speed and coverage. So, understanding these two bands and how they work can help you make the most of your wireless network. In summary, 2.4 GHz offers better range but can be slower due to congestion, while 5 GHz provides faster speeds but with a shorter range. Knowing when and how to use each band can greatly enhance your internet experience. Remember that crowded 2.4 GHz highway? It gets worse. Imagine it further divided into multiple lanes or channels. Your Roku TV and other devices share these channels with neighboring Wi-Fi networks, cordless phones, microwaves, and other devices that use the 2.4 GHz frequency. If you have a lot of devices using the same channel, it's like adding more cars to an already jammed lane. This creates interference, leading to slower speeds and buffering issues. The 5 GHz band has more channels and less interference, but some of these channels are special. They're called DFS channels, and they can cause headaches for your Roku TV. Section 5, DFS channels. The hidden culprit behind Roku buffering DFS stands for dynamic frequency selection. It's a technology that shares certain 5 GHz Wi-Fi channels with radar systems used by weather stations and air traffic control. Your router is supposed to detect these radar signals and automatically switch to a different channel to avoid interference. Unfortunately, some Roku TVs have trouble connecting to or staying connected to Wi-Fi networks using DFS channels. This can lead to frequent disconnections, slow speeds, and yes, you guessed it, more buffering. The good news is that you can often fix this by turning off DFS channels on your router. Let's see how to do that. Section 6. Taming the router. Disabling DFS channels might sound intimidating, but it's usually a simple process. This can be particularly useful if you're experiencing interruptions or buffering while streaming content on your devices. Here's a general guide, but keep in mind that the exact steps might vary depending on your router's brand and model. Each router interface can look slightly different, but the core steps remain the same. First, access your router's settings. This is where you'll make the necessary adjustments to disable DFS channels. Open a web browser and type your router's IP address into the address bar. This IP address is usually found on the back of the router or in its manual. Common IP addresses include 192.168.0.1 or 192.168.1.1. Next, log into your router by entering your username and password. If you haven't changed these credentials, they are often the default ones provided by the manufacturer. If you haven't changed them, the default credentials are often printed on the router itself. Look for a sticker or label that includes this information. Then find the Wi-Fi settings. This is where you'll be able to access and modify the settings related to your wireless network. Look for a section called Wireless, Wi-Fi, or something similar. This section contains all the settings related to your wireless network, including the DFS channels. Locate the DFS settings, which might be under a sub-menu called Advanced Settings or 5 GHz Wireless. DFS stands for Dynamic Frequency Selection, and it's used to avoid interference with radar systems. Disable DFS channels by unchecking the box or toggling the switch to disable it. This will prevent your router from using these channels, which can sometimes cause interruptions in your Wi-Fi signal. Finally, save your changes by clicking on Apply or Save to apply the new settings. Your router might restart to apply these changes, so be prepared for a brief interruption in your internet connection. After restarting, try connecting your Roku TV to the 5 GHz network again. This frequency band is less crowded and can provide a more stable connection for streaming. Hopefully, you'll notice a significant improvement in streaming quality. By disabling DFS channels, you reduce the chances of interference and ensure a smoother streaming experience. This can be especially beneficial if you live in an area with a lot of Wi-Fi networks or other electronic devices that might cause interference. Remember, the goal is to create a more reliable and consistent connection for your streaming devices. If you continue to experience issues, you might want to explore other settings or even consider upgrading your router to a more advanced model. Modern routers come with enhanced features and better performance, which can further improve your streaming experience. Investing in a good quality router can make a significant difference in your overall internet performance. Additionally, many modern routers offer mobile apps that make it easier to manage your network settings. These apps can provide a more user-friendly interface and additional features to optimize your network. By taking these steps, you can enjoy uninterrupted streaming and make the most out of your internet connection. Happy streaming! Section 7, when all else fails, calling in the ISP cavalry. If you've tried everything and your Roku TV is still buffering, the issue might lie with your internet service provider or ISP. Contact your ISP's customer support and explain the problem. They can check your internet connection's stability and speed and help you troubleshoot any potential issues on their end. Remember, a stable and fast internet connection is crucial for a smooth streaming experience. Section 8. Enjoy uninterrupted streaming. A world without buffering awaits. By understanding the intricacies of Wi-Fi frequencies, band steering, and DFS channels, you can optimize your home network for a seamless streaming experience on your Roku TV. Disabling DFS channels might just be the magic trick that banishes buffering woes and unlocks a world of uninterrupted entertainment. So go ahead, grab that popcorn and enjoy. And hey, if you found these tips helpful, be sure to check out my other tech videos on Linus Tech Tips.